Mordo, right? I hope I'm saying his name right. Is still alive, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Ultron robots that are actually created by Earth 616, Tony Stark. You know, does that mean does Mordo go to Superior Iron Man now? Maybe he just wasn't there at that time. Because there's just no way. Iron Man is in the Illuminati, right? Let's confirm that he is in the Illuminati. He is. Why wasn't he there for that reason? Is Mordo going to him now saying that, like, yo, something's happened to the Illuminati, like, we don't know, like, what's going on? Because the Mordo in Earth 616 has this motive to kill Doctor Strange, try to make him, like, not a sorcerer, get him out of his life. Now that Mordo has came into play, you know, Earth 838 Mordo, does that mean that he has a new motive to actually take out Doctor Strange, but now he has more power behind it? Now he's gonna go to Superior Iron Man and be like, yo, like, this guy just, like, off all of our people. The Illuminati is, like, you know, in shambles. What do we do now? And I think that's when they'll add the Superior Iron Man in, because, like, we gotta think, the multiverse is a thing right now. Anything's possible. And then Tom Cruise comes in.
Tom Cruise? No, I don't see Tom Cruise.
I don't know Tom Cruise.
I don't see Tom Cruise coming in this.
No. It's a good thing to think about.
Never know, man.
I mean, yeah, actually, no, you're right. Because there's multiple dimensions and stuff, universes. So, yeah, he could come back. And
it's the thing, though, like, everybody was, like, the same person, though, in each universe.
That's what I'm saying.
Except for the Spider-Man.
Yeah. But I feel like the only reason the Spider-Man were kind of different is because, like, I guess that's just how the cards just played out for the, you know, life of Marvel.
Yeah.
You know, different actors played different characters and stuff like that. But I just feel like Superior Iron Man is going to be put into play, but it just didn't happen now. But also, do you guys think that now that Doctor Strange has his, like, powers, like, he's more powerful than he was before, do you think he'll then recreate his own version of the Illuminati?
Nah.
You don't think the Illuminati will come back? Like, why would they be off so quick? They're such a big part.
616, Doctor Strange. Yeah. Nah, I don't think he will. I don't think he would do that at all.
You don't think he'll put in his own, like, version of the Illuminati?
No.
Nah, not at all.
But the Illuminati is such a big part of Marvel. Like, why would they just end it so quick?
I mean, are they really that big of a part, or?
Yeah, they play a big role. They segue, like, the story of the Illuminati literally segues into, what, Secret Wars, in a way. The way how their story, like, goes about, like, Secret Wars ends up happening in some type of way, and the Illuminati are involved. Remember, there's rumors going around that there's going to be a Secret Wars movie. So the Illuminati has to be involved in some type of way. Them getting off that quick just doesn't make sense for
what we already
them getting off now doesn't mean that they still can't go back and make this, like, before they got offed.
What do you mean? Like
the Secret Wars could take place before the Wanda showed up.
Maybe, like, so you're saying Secret Wars probably already happened in their universe. So this is just after the Secret Wars happened in Earth 838. So
probably their Iron Man died too.
Well, I feel like they would have probably mentioned that.
They would have mentioned.
Speaking of that, if I'm not mistaken, there was 2 other people in the Illuminati, like, you know, based off of our knowledge of knowing who's in it. We didn't see Doctor Doom because the facility was Baxter, and Baxter has to deal with Doctor Doom. And also, we obviously didn't see Black Panther, obviously for obvious IRL reasons why we didn't see Black Panther, but we didn't get to see a variant of Black Panther.
Yeah.
You know, at least a variant. So it's just kind of weird because they're also...
You feel me?
They could.
They could have introduced her earlier. You know? Nah, never mind.
As like a variant, as in just like, okay, so...
Nah, never mind. That'd been too confusing a little bit.
A little, yeah. I think it has to just make sense.
Yeah.
Also, here's another thing that I noticed. Since I watched it twice, there was some more things I actually got to pick up, you know, and if you guys watch it more than once, you guys will be able to pick up things probably I didn't even see. So, when they were explaining how 838 Strange died, right? If you guys look at the Infinity Gauntlet that Thanos had, he still had the Infinity Gauntlet on. He didn't have the Mind Stone. That was the one Infinity Stone missing. He didn't have the Mind Stone. Why is that?
In the flashback scene?
In the flashback scene.
Oh, I didn't peep that.
Yeah. I feel like the Illuminati didn't face the same Thanos, the same power level of Thanos that you know, Earth 616 Avengers had to deal with.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing though. If he did have all the stones, he wouldn't have been able to fight with the entire gauntlet because the power was too much. It almost killed him.
Right. Well, no, it almost killed him because he snapped, right? He only got that way after he had snapped.
Yeah, but the radiation was still infecting him, just like it was infecting Tony once he had all 6.
No, in Endgame, he had all stones on his gauntlet.
Yeah, but the thing is, he didn't fight with it though.
He was fighting with them.
No, I'm talking about Thanos, right?
Yeah.
When he had all 6. Yeah, because in Infinity War, when he had got the last stone, before he had even snapped, he looked like he was just overpowered and he was just beating everybody's ass basically. I feel like what you're saying is that he would deteriorate over time. It would be the same effect, but it would be just like longer lasting. So like you would say that the radiation from all the gauntlets being combined would just deteriorate his body because it's too powerful for him to handle.
Well, he used the stones to destroy the stones because it was too strong for him, even for him.
Yeah.
Remember, they're like the most powerful things in the entire universe. So,
Yeah.
To be honest, when he took off the Power Stone and hit Captain Marvel, he kind of saved himself right there for a second, because that could have.
Oh yeah, true.
That could have
Okay,
weakened him.
that's what I was thinking about. I was thinking about that scene, you know, right there when he was going against Captain Marvel. So he did take the stone out, right? Okay.
Well, no, he didn't have the gauntlet on yet.
He did.
He had the gauntlet. Why
Because
didn't he snap right then?
he was about to snap, but she was holding his hand open.
Yeah, she.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Okay.
So I feel like, so what do you mean by that? So the Earth 838 version of Thanos, you're saying was just as powerful as the Thanos with all 6 Infinity Stones?
Honestly, I feel like the Illuminati just had a better equipped team.
I mean, they are way smarter than the Avengers. Because they're filled with the smartest people, right?
Yeah.
Professor X, Reed Richards.
And then you got
Technically
Doctor Strange using the Darkhold, so you don't know what that man was
Yeah,
pulling
that
out.
too. So yeah.
Earth 838 Strange used the Darkhold, right? Okay,
Yeah.
I figured so.
It was overpowered a little bit themselves. So I mean.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot.
And they got their version of Captain Marvel too. So
And Superior Iron Man, which
We didn't see.
wasn't. He had to have been in there. I'm just so pissed.
Professor X was there too. So
Yeah, they were all smart. But my thing is that I just feel like Professor X really could have done something to the Scarlet Witch. I just feel like he's too smart to have just died that easily.
I mean, he was trying to bring her. He was trying to snap her out of her hypnosis, but
I feel like he could have
do it.
But the thing is that like it's the Scarlet Witch bloodlusted really.
Yeah. I mean, props to Sam Raimi for making the Scarlet Witch look intimidating. Like he really made, you know, Elizabeth Olsen like very intimidating when she actually put on the suit.
She was, I mean, like you said, she was doing a good job, like playing that role.
Oh yeah, she killed
The first interaction, bro, when she was cutting the trees, I was like, something about to go down right here, bro. And then she was like, you didn't mention her name. I was like,
I know, I caught that. I was like, oh man, she says her name. He didn't say it.
He ain't say nothing
He didn't say
about
her name at all, bro. How?
But that, you know, it's crazy to think that what the spell that she had casted, right? It made everything seem so normal, and then she was able to just be like, boom.
Yeah.
Like, without the reality stone, she could literally write her own reality. That's insane to think about that. She had you gotta think, she had a whole town of people mind controlled to live the life that she wants.
Yep.
She literally can live any life that she wants. Just by like her powers alone. Like how much more powerful can the Scarlet Witch be?
They were kind of seeing it with the Darkhold. I mean,
You think she's at like, this is her max power, this is peak, we've seen peak Scarlet Witch.
I feel like when anyone's bloodlusted, that's almost their peak.
Yeah.
That's almost their peak form. So yeah.
I feel bad for Earth 616 Scarlet though.
Yeah, you feel bad.
She just
for
wants
the-
kids.
yeah.
Like she really like is like, bro, if I just have kids, I promise like I won't do anything. I just want kids. She was willing to go across universes, like different dimensions, just to be with her kids.
yeah, but the thing is, remember when he was like, what's gonna happen to that Earth one?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, are you gonna kill her? And
Yeah,
take her away from her kids? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
So it's basically like you have to play your role in a certain way. Like
you have to play it.
You got drawn, the short stick, and I mean, you just gotta live with it. Honestly,
These are the cards you was dealt with, so
exactly.
it's like,
I mean,
it's like
that's just how it is.
Nah, I do feel bad. I have some sympathy for her, but I mean, she was being a little OD, but like I can see where she's coming from.
There was a scene in the trailer I ain't see in the movie. I think 838's Dr. Strange was like, oh, it just got interesting. Things just got out of hand.
Things just got.
Yeah, he's like,
Oh,
things
that's not 838 though.
That was an 838.
No,
Oh,
remember they switched to another universe, and that was a different Doctor Strange. Because remember 838 died. They killed him.
Now that fight between his darker self, bro, that was kind of fire.
Yeah, it was.
That's with the music type fight, bro.
It was unique. It was a unique style. I didn't expect that.
Oh
so,
yeah, I didn't expect that either.
It was pretty cool. I like how I just like Doctor Strange's just fighting abilities. Right, it's just pretty unique. It's the way he can just be able to just manipulate everything. What really be tripping me out is when he be making shapes go. Y'all know what I'm talking about? But he be playing geometry, which
he did that with Wanda. She wasn't fooled by that at all, bro.
Bro, she's that just proves like her battle IQ. But also, you got to think like even SpiderMan was able to break out of that because he just knew geometry.
Well, that's the thing. He just got a big brain on him, so he was like, "Oh, honestly, in that moment, bro, geometry wouldn't even click in my head."
Well, I would just be like, "Man, where's the exit?"
I mean, for him, bro, that just shows you how smart it was. That just clicked for him.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot of big brain people in Marvel. I don't think like Bruce Banner is big brain. I guess who would be considered like not big brain people? Thor is just muscle. I don't think he really uses his...
Nah, he don't really use his brain like that.
He don't really use his brain. Hawkeye's just weak.
No, but
he is smart.
Him and
Natasha.
Yeah, him and Natasha. They know how to use their brain, bro.
But when it comes to... You really think that...
I'm obviously not
coming down to science.
Yeah, no, you're not that science thing, but...
Tony and Bruce, bro, no.
But I think they're last tier for obvious reasons. I think combat they got it, but when it comes to like just IQ all around, like we do got some top.
It's Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, he's the smartest man on earth.
My guy had like 15 minutes of stream time.
That's what I'm saying. Isn't there a fantastic? Kevin Feige has confirmed a Fantastic Four movie, right?
Yeah, that's what
there should be. There should be another one. There's gonna be another.
There's gonna be another one. Let's completely forget about the one that happened in 2015.
Why'd you do that? I didn't do anything. Stop, jump, and roll. Stop, jump, and roll.
Sheesh. Like that one was terrible.
That was pretty trash.
I watched it. I didn't even watch it.
That thing was so fast.
You didn't watch it?
Bro, it was so fast paced.
Like I was like,
I heard Doctor Doom lasted 5 minutes.
Yeah, like bro, it was crazy.
Oh god.
I seen Michael B. Jordan and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna watch this.
Who is he supposed? He was supposed to be the Human Torch, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I've only I watched it for the first time like 2 years ago, and I literally did not finish it because it was that bad. I just feel like I could see what they were doing. They were trying to bring a young like Fantastic Four route, so that way they were thinking it's probably going to do so good that we can have longevity with this because they're a young cast. You know, they could keep going, but it was just a huge flop. But since we have, I can't put a name to a face for that actor that we just had, the one that just played Reed Richards.
John Krasinski.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
What I feel is that maybe they might have another variant of him on a different.
That's what I feel.
universe.
Yeah, that's what I feel like too.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just so crazy because nothing seems too far fetched now that the multiverse is just a thing.
Yeah.
Like nothing seems too far fetched. We might see a Wolverine. We might see the X-Men. We might see James McAvoy as version of.
Honestly, bro, we're obviously gonna see an X-Men, bro.
Yeah, we are. But do you think it'll be a new cast? Because you
not.
gotta think. But you gotta think. Technically, in the X-Men timeline, those current actors that we have right now, if you bring them to the present, like they're old as fuck. So wouldn't they have to time travel?
Oh yeah, they are pretty. Yeah,
and it depends what Earth are they from. They can't be from Earth 616.
Why not?
I don't think that the X-Men, the Days of Futures Past X-Men, are from the same Earth. There's no way.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Because
actually, wait. I think I might be wrong. Because actually, I don't know.
Because if Professor X was he He's an 838. But still, regardless, James, what's his name, McAvoy or something?
James McAvoy.
Yeah, he's the younger version of Professor X. So
is it 838X? Which Professor X is it?
That's true. I know that's true now that I'm thinking about which version that could be because
you see how far advanced they were into the future, but also
they also were pretty in old. They were in old times, so they were like in JFK.
Yeah, they were like in like the 60s, 70s, like all that. But my thing also is this: now that I don't know, I just keep bringing up like the multiverse because this is crazy. How I feel like Doctor Strange gave us like a manual, like hey. This is how the multiverse works. We're not going to pull out all the bells and whistles and such. We just really want you guys to understand this is how the multiverse works. And for future Marvel films to come, when other characters get put in and shit like that, now you know how the multiverse works, so it makes sense that some things are bound to happen.
Yeah.
So maybe, the Fantastic Four happening, that it's happening on a different Earth, or maybe it's happening in a different timeline, and then they get transported. Because speaking of superheroes getting transported, Miles Morales, technically from Earth 1610, but then he's later transported to Earth 616.
Oh, I like Miles, but I don't even feel like this guy's going to be introduced soon. Like unless you want to skip 4 years in the future. Like in real lifetime, and then
maybe they'll
add like a Miles because
a live action one, right?
Yeah, a live action Miles and obviously you might have to come. It can either come from Doctor Strange or come from SpiderMan. So
honestly, bro, yeah, it might be Chavez that ends up doing it too because she never seen a Spider-Man in any other universe.
Yeah, she has. And how does he get like, if he was from Earth 1610 and gets transported to Earth 616, like, how did he get there?
Yeah.
Now that it introduced America Chavez, like, and she could jump through universes, it just seems possible,
That seems weird. She's never seen a Spider-Man. Like.
Well, remember, also, this is actually a good thing to segue into. When I looked it up, it was very late at night. It was like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I looked up how many universes are in the total Marvel existence that they have. It was 161. When Doctor Strange was on Earth 838 with America Chavez, he said, how many universes have you jumped through? She said 72 to 73. So she hasn't been technically through all the universes. So maybe she just hasn't seen a Spider-Man yet because she hasn't been through all the universes. Technically, Marvel has.
Okay.
So I mean, that means there's more to come.
I feel like if you... It's a multiverse, and you see that one Wanda has powers. The next Wanda that the next dimension they went to has powers. So I feel like it doesn't matter which dimension you go to. Peter Parker is always gonna have powers.
It's existing.
Yeah, he's gonna be alive. He's always gonna have powers. So I just feel like. I mean, maybe it's just a coincidence that she never seen a Spider-Man.
Remember, you can go back to the Spider-Verse with the Miles Morales animated movie to where there was like a Peter B. Parker, and then there was another Parker. And the other dude had blonde hair, the other one was brunette. So I'm like, who's the real one? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was very confusing. I mean, I just love the Spider-Verse movie, Miles Morales movie.
Yeah,
I just want it to happen because I feel like, it's been a long time coming. We understand Peter Parker's story. All right, we get it. All right, we're not taking away from Spider-Man because Spider-Man, in my opinion, is probably the most funnest superhero of all time to watch. Who doesn't want to be Spider-Man? Everybody wanted to be Spider-Man when they grew up. But back to the multiverse of madness. I just feel like this movie has scratched the surface for like the crazy amount of things that we're probably going to see in the future for this phase of Marvel.
Yeah.
I just feel like now that they've introduced this and showed us how everything kind of really works, now possibly seeing an Avenger movie seems a little bit more possible than before, right? Because it seemed like after Endgame, like there should be no other Avenger movie. Endgame was like, yeah, it basically just seemed like it was.
I mean, it's obviously in like the cartoon ones, but there's like other Avenger movies where, Tony and Steve aren't even leading. It's like, who was leading it? It was weird. It was like there's like a fresh new set of people, like basically like a new generation of people leading the Avengers. So I can see, I don't see Tom Holland leading the Avengers. I can see Doctor Strange leading them.
He just seems like a really good he just feels like he's that next guy up.
Yeah, I mean, plus he probably is like the oldest now. Like, besides like Thor, if
Thor's the oldest.
Yeah, I mean
Thor's always been the oldest.
Yeah, he's
always. I mean, you know what I mean, like, you know, in human years and stuff like that. I mean,
well,
he's probably the oldest.
Well, then if that was the case, then it was Steve.
It was Steve.
I mean, but people.
The human though, right? Like,
no, I'm saying in human years.
He's God. But I'm saying, like, you know,
as far as
maturity, as for someone to lead people, like to look up as a figure. Yeah, that's not gonna be Doctor Strange unless I could think of someone else that's probably up there. I mean,
that boy Peter Parker, man.
I mean, he's like, this is a really big. Peter Parker's character has always been big brain, but like, do you think that he would have the capabilities to be a leader? How old does he have to be? Because he can't just be Peter Parker right now. Tom Holland's Peter Parker.
Yeah,
he has to get a little bit older.
I'm saying, like, he's 20 or something like that now.
Well, we don't know from when he had got the apartment. We don't know the time jump or whatever.
Yeah, so let's just say he's still young, but still, like, no, I mean,
under 21.
Yeah, let's just say you're gonna need someone who's been around the block to, you know,
like Doctor Strange. But Doctor Strange's been around the universe. He ain't been around the block. I just feel like there's a whole lot of setting up to do. But I think the Multiverse of Madness coming out was a great stepping stone for stuff like that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, because everybody's mind is running wild. You know, Marvel fans, you know, real Marvel fanatics are running wild with saying like, oh my god, all these possibilities. They're going to be flipping out the comic book saying that like this edition of that can correlate to this, to that. And it's just like, now introducing the multiverse has just unlocked like this whole
so many doors, like, and Marvel can be so creative with everything too, like
it's a whole new way of thinking.
Yeah,
like you can't just think about it regularly. Like when we watched, you know, Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3 with like Robert Downey, Chris Evans, and such like that. When these guys were first getting introduced, it's like you couldn't really make too many theories out of it, right?
Yeah,
it kind of just seemed like, oh, we kind of really know how this is gonna play.
Yeah, like out. It was solid. Like
they were very. And when I use this term, I don't mean it to like diminish like their creativity, but it was very basic and was going along with how the story should go.
Mm-hmm.
But now, like further on, you know, as the Marvel phases progress, it's like there's so much advanced thinking now.
Yeah, now we're stepping into a whole nother
universe.
Basically, yeah.
It's a whole
that was corny.
A whole new. It's like a whole new playing field. Like we seen in Loki, they have like thousands of Infinity Stones in a drawer.
Oh, you have these.
Oh, we actually got a lot of those. Yeah, some of the guys use them as paperweights. Some of them.
Use them as paperweights.
Yeah, as paperweights. Like, bro, like
I ain't gonna lie,
that's
like
crazy as so.
What y'all think seeing that? I was just like, wow, this literally belittles everything that happened in Endgame.
What happens when there's an altercation in the office?
Right. Like, I got the Power Stone now.
Loki was like, I think that was the first thing that kind of introduced it.
Yeah,
really.
I feel like
with all the Loki variants.
If you really, really think about it, Loki foreshadowed No Way Home in a way. Because remember, Loki variants. There were so many different Loki variants. So it was possible that, you know, it almost made sense that we saw Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man return. We saw Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man return. It just made sense because we look at Loki. You know, technically there was no Loki variant. We were just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But
all of them did not look the same.
All of them didn't look the same.
Only one of them.
So
the president was. Yeah, the president. Loki.
Yeah. So I mean, technically, that's not too far out of reach for another actor to be playing a different variant of, you know, another superhero.
Yeah.
So it doesn't. It's not too far out of reach. Like it's.
I feel like nothing's too far out of reach now.
I honestly want to see them fight Kang though, bro.
Kang the Conqueror. Yeah, that too.
They ended off so good to the point where I was just ready for another season of Loki. Honestly.
Yeah. No, it did. Loki did like it. I feel like it's not getting the credit that it deserves. Like if 5 years pass by, you know, people aren't really gonna people may forget how much of a stepping stone Loki was
Yeah.
to then segue into Multiverse of Madness, to then unlock this whole new phase of Marvel and our whole new way of thinking how Marvel could be and all these theories and stuff like that. Because, like, that Kevin Feige hasn't even scratched the surface yet of what the comics are about.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Like, he's done a great job. You know, he's put out amazing movies, but there's so much more. And I just think this would go on for the next 30, 40 years.
Yeah. Honestly,
There's
yeah.
so much longevity that superhero movies have. It's like, why stop now?